Aye, Honorable Kennedy, a convert Agyapong, a yen in some be abetuja a tea for almost say one Casayi na or Casadono. And a day a Kwasi Pratt, Eddin Simbe Betuja, Nan some Kwasi Pratt air can say, or bought a year Kennedy a convert Agyapong, a year Nabasu pa, na ono dear or supporting ye pa if you say, no credit ho, na Ghana for Muslim penocra, na ubi canocra. I didn't think I was a mobonechi, na on Kwasi Pratt dear or bought Nabasu pa. Na or can sim being so echo any can say maybe na yenji brain yankuti and semwa a year Kwasi Pratt adding or the 2 billion. I would not see you so more than a subscriber like never share with you moving a share.
Of course, if what he's saying is not true and is calculated to smear, leaders of the party as well, that's another matter.
But the NPP has a position on this matter. Why did he go off that position?
But if that position is faulty, if that position is false, you understand? If indeed it is true that the Agenda 111 hospitals have not been completed because those who won the contract sold the contracts to people who cannot complete it and so on, why shouldn't he say it? Is he not a Ghanaian? Is he not entitled as a Ghanaian to protect the public purse? He is.
You're throwing your party's dirty linen in the public.
Oh,
that's anti-party behavior.
But Moro, what comes first?
Well, Ghana first, I agree.
I would think that all party members, including Collins, would place Ghana first. I'm sure that if we were to ask Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, that in the scheme of things, what does he place first? He will place Ghana first.
Well, that's true.
Understand? So if he's placing Ghana first, and it's what we expect everybody, every Ghanaian to do, what is wrong with that?
But the party person, they're tired of him.
Unless what he's saying is not true. So the first thing to do is to establish whether or not what he's saying is true or not. That's the first thing. If it's not true, that's a different matter. If it is true, why dismiss him? When he's doing what the party itself promises to do when elected to power. NPP promises that when it is elected to power, to protect the public purse. It will make sure that contracts are awarded properly and that contracts are executed and so on. That's the promise the party is making. So if he's insisting on what the party itself promises to do, what is the problem? Unless, of course, that what he's saying is not true. Then, the disciplinary question arises.
So, Hamza is of the opinion that he must come out and substantiate the claims that he's making. Perhaps the OSP must invite him to come and substantiate those claims, and that it borders on corruption and so on. Obviously, what do you make of this?
I think that Hamza is on the right path. Okay. What Hamza is seeking to do is to establish the facts. Right. To find out whether indeed what he's saying is true or not. Right. And if it's established that what he's saying is true, there are different courses of action that ought to be taken.
Right.
So Hamza is not condemning Kennedy Agyapong as it were. He's saying that he's made allegations. These allegations ought to be investigated, and the truth of the allegations ought to be established. That's what he's saying.
Right.
And who can disagree with that? As for those who are calling for his dismissal from the New Patriotic Party and so on, I think they must also answer the very crucial question of whether or not what he's saying is true.
Collins, you have a better appreciation of your party's constitution. Would you say that Ken's attitude is anti-party behavior? Has it flouted any provisions of your constitution, for which reason you think that he should be sanctioned? Because we all know what your position on this Afari, why they say, and they see where hospitals matter is. You've said that, look, you shouldn't take the blame. That the NDC is now in power, they should fix it. But he now comes and says that, no, you can't say that. You take the blame. You were in power for 8 years. And he goes beyond that to make certain comments as well. Now your party people are very, very unhappy. They said, we're tired of Kennedy Agyapong. We has to be called to order.
You shouldn't speak the truth.
Well, if he's going to head the party, please keep quiet.
So first of all, the party has not said that Honorable Kennedy Agyapong should not speak the truth.
Right.
So what did Mr. Agyapong say? He went to the hospital to do some donation on his birthday.
Yeah.
Which is quite normal of him, because I've seen quite a number of donations that he's made to various hospitals. And then he was interviewed at the ceremony. And then he said that the MPP should, as it were, just keep quiet. Because we did nothing in our 8 years. And these are his words. We did nothing in the 8 years.
I mean, about those hospitals.
Yes. The question for me is it true that the MPP did nothing in the 8 years that were in power about those 2 hospitals? Because the records are clear that when the NDC was leaving power, those hospitals were at certain percentages of completion. And when MPP was leaving power, it had moved to a certain percentage. That alone should settle the matter. That it cannot be said that the MPP did nothing in the 8 years when we were in power about those 2 hospitals. I think that should settle that matter. Moro, I think it's my point. That should settle that matter.
Yeah.
So if the hospital was 30%, and when MPP took over, and when MPP was leaving, it's 90%, you can't say that the MPP did nothing in the 8 years that they were in power.
Right.
That statement cannot be factual. So the MPP is not saying Honorable Agyapong should not speak the truth. He has every right to speak the truth. But what he said and what the facts are, there is a huge variance. And I think that's the point that some members of the party are making. Especially when the morning before he had that encounter with the media, the health committee, the defense committee members and health committee members of parliament have held a press conference and put out the facts as we know it in the press. Yeah. Then in the afternoon, he says that virtually we should shut up, we couldn't complete it. Yes, we did not complete it. If we had completed it, I'm sure it would have been in operation. But it's not fair for you to say that we did nothing within 8 years when the facts do not support that. I think what got people even more worried was later on in the afternoon when he had an interview on his own radio station. And I think what got people very worried was when he said he was going to deal with the party. And that if anybody, as it were, is not friendly to him in terms of communication, he was going to, by 1st of July or next year.
Are you sure that is what he said?
No, he said that.
No. He has, if anybody is not friendly to him.
Oh, no. Well, he didn't add that.
I'm paraphrasing.
He's adding his.
No, I'm paraphrasing it.
He's not quoting him.
Oh, I'm not quoting him.
Then you're right.
Well, that's not what
No, that's not what he said.
I said,
that can be.
yes, he said he's going to deal with the party. You are in a political party. We love him. He's one of our very, very revered and respected persons. You want to deal with the party that you belong to. Which way? How? You are a member of the Catholic Church. We have rules and regulations governing the Catholic Church. Few people within the Catholic Church make this very bad comment about you. You get angry. And then your response is that you are going to deal with the Catholic Church.
The NPP is not the Catholic Church anyway. So
No, I'm just giving an example. It's an example. And when I was listening to him, clearly he was angered. So I take it that